everyone, Intuitive Edge here. Boy, lots been going on. How's everybody doing? Lots of stuff in the news and lots of people in the news. Welcome to Celebrity Spotlight, where I spotlight people in the news, household names, whether Hollywood or politics. And this week we're going to take a look at John Brennan. The reason I'm spotlighting him, couple reasons. He's been a very much an anti-Trump figurehead. He's been very much part of the swamp, part of the people that are fighting the president. Anyway, former CIA director. Now, he's been very vocal on Twitter. And lately, since the Mueller report came out last Friday, he's kind of been walking back a few things that he said. I think he's trying to play nice a little bit. So what brought this on is I was watching the news last night. I was flipping through some channels, and I landed on a couple news channels, flipped around, saw Fox News was airing a segment where they were showing a clip from, it was either MSNBC or CNN, where they were interviewing John Brennan. And no big deal. He was talking and whatever. It was kind of in the background. I was kind of half paying attention, but I looked up as they had John Brennan's picture up there. And for a half second, I saw a noose around his neck. Now, it wasn't something like I sat there and went, I wonder what that would look like if he had, no. It just came out of the blue and left as quick as it came. It wasn't something I drummed up or thought about and so when that happened, I went, okay, that's a message. That's not just me daydreaming or having an overactive imagination. So I came downstairs to my little studio down here to look at this in a little more detail. And I pulled up some cards and I asked some questions. So the first question was, I was wondering, okay, is he going to be arrested? Will he be tried for treason? And what's the outcome for him? Now, I pulled 3 cards. I was just kind of asking, just for my sake, what's this about? And I pulled 3 cards, and I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. And I thought, well, okay, I want to ask again, and I'm going to do a full spread. So I shuffled up all 78 cards, like I always do. I always tell you guys this. And I shuffled them up, and the first card out was the first card of the time that I had just shuffled. I'm like, okay, same card, that's interesting. Second card up was the same card in the same position from when I had just laid them out. Third card was the exact same card. I'm like, okay. All right, this is interesting. So the cards aren't anything like, amazing, intuitive, but for them to come up the same. So here's what I got. On the question of will he be arrested? Now, this is kind of weird because this is the 4 of Cups. The key word is boredom. And I thought, okay, boredom, that's interesting. On the question of will he be arrested? I thought that was kind of weird, but that card came up twice. So it must mean something important. I guess when you think of being bored, if you're arrested, it's pretty boring. I don't know. But it has meaning. Okay, but I'll get to that in a second here, because this builds. The rest of these cards pull it all together, I think. The next card was the 10 of Wands. Responsibility. This is like taking on a burden, taking on something. The next card is the card of change, but it's generally unwelcome change. So on the question of will he be arrested, I would say yes, this looks that way. The next question, will he be tried in a military court for treason? We had the competition card. This is a card of struggle. The card of being in the thick of it, being in the middle of a struggle. The next card on this question is the Five of Pentacles. This is a card of risk. You don't want to take risk. The third card on this question, will he be tried in a military tribunal, was the Contemplation. This is a Hermit. This is a major arcana. This is having to do a lot of self-reflection and look at where you've gone wrong and what you can do to fix things. And it's self-reflection, introspection, all of that, the Hermit. And that's the only major arcana that popped up in this reading. So that, I mean, if you're thinking about being on trial, that's like, yeah, you have to kind of face the music. You have to look at yourself and yeah. Third question, you know, outcome. This was that third card that came up from the previous reading. Motivation. This is the Three of Wands. This is a card of having a vision and looking at the future and seeing where you're going. The next card on this question, we had a card of achievement. Eight of Pentacles. Achievement. Looking out over what you've done and looking at it's a card of success, basically. Achievement, success. And the last card is the Eight of Swords. And this is restriction is the key word. Now, in the traditional tarot, in the Rider-Waite deck and some others, the Eight of Swords card is depicted with a woman who's blindfolded and she's surrounded by swords in the ground that look like jail bars. So I think at the very least, I think he will be arrested, tried, possibly in a military court, military tribunal, and jailed or worse, however those end up. Underneath this, we had the Knight of Wands, messenger card, and the keyword's activity. So I do think there's activity on this. I do think there's some energy behind it, and I think John Brennan probably knows that he's in a lot of trouble. So I pulled up another deck just to kind of see what's coming up for him, just kind of a general overview. And I had pulled up these cards here. I'm going to put them back out the way I had them. So the first card was the Eight of Cups again, that unwanted change. Okay. Kind of a sad change or difficult change, but change nonetheless. That's the issue. The crossing card was the King of Wands. And what I feel from this is that President Trump's probably going to go after him. In some way, I think he'll feel the weight of the White House in some way. The Page of Swords, a messenger up above. And this is like not getting information from unverified sources and not being surrounded in truth or having the truth come at you. It's listening, can be listening to gossip or anything that is salacious or unverified. Where have we heard that? That's in the position of what we know. What's underneath? Now, he had a major arcana, the Lover's card. Now, Lover's card in tarot goes beyond just personal partnerships. It's making bigger partnerships with people, businesses. It's partnerships on a greater level. And he had this card upside down, the Lovers. It's my little deck. The Lover's card upside down to me is like getting in partnerships that are not good, not maybe underhanded or sneaky, or there's some level of collusion or subversion or something underneath that's not good. The card behind it is the World, the Success card. Now this is falling into the past. This is what's leaving. Success is leaving. Crossing that bridge with President Trump, I think, and then moving into the Sadness card, which is the five of Cups. 5 of Cups. And this is basically having to walk away from something, feeling, well, it's like feeling devastating loss or just the weight of the loss around you. Okay. And basically the rest of the cards are much the same. That heartbreak card fell in the position of what is wished or hoped or dreaded or worried about, and that's like that emotional upset, heartbreak, heartache. So anyway, I think he's gonna be in the hot seat. He may be one of the first ones with all of this. I do think there's going to be some others too. What's come out with the Mueller report and others, and soon to be the D-Class, the OIG report coming out, I don't think these are going to make people look good that are involved. And if we've learned anything about Donald Trump through his Twitter, we can learn a lot from his Twitter, okay? Whether you like him or hate him, you learn a lot about who he is and what motivates him. And if people, and also from reading his books, he talks a lot about, you know, if you blindside him or underhanded, or if you're, you know, if you go after him, he'll fight twice as hard and go after you. I don't think he's going to take this lying down. And he made some allusion to that in a clip, a news clip that was played recently, where he was like, this should never happen again, ever, to another president, ever. And I don't think he's going to take this lightly. I don't think he's going to be, you know, well, they were just, you know, it's all under the bridge, sour grapes from an election loss, whatever. I don't think so. I think he will fight back. And I think that's why people voted for him, because they wanted a fighter. At least the people I've talked to that voted for Trump wanted somebody who would fight. Tired of seeing, you know, especially Republican presidents just kind of lay down and, you know, be like, oh, whatever, and just let other people walk on him. Trump's not like that. He's not going to let people walk on him. And I think John Brennan stepped in it. And I think he might have to face the music on this one. But I also think he'll be one of the first that we'll see. One of many. That's my take on it. All right. Thanks for tuning in. This was Celebrity Spotlight. Not exactly a fun spotlight, but I think it's going to play out in the news. We'll see what happens. All right. Take care, everyone. This is Intuitive Edge. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.